Assalamu alaikum. In this presentation, I am going to give you oral phonetic analysis activity 5. So let us recall the previous activities. Activity 1 was listening to the last sound. Activity 2 was listening to the first sound. Activity 3 was one child listens to the first sound and another child listens to the last sound. Activity 4, one child listens to the first sound and the last sound. Now this is activity 5, which is A and E introduction, because in ovals we have not given the introduction of E. At the beginning we give only A, I, O, U, isn't it? Now we give an introduction to E. Do you know why we give the presentation of A and E? Because it has similar sounds, right? What alphabet is this? This is A, but the sound is A, isn't it? And what alphabet is this? This is E, but the sound is A. So there are many words where you get the same letter but the sounds are same, okay? Different letter but still the sounds are same. So here is a presentation, have a look. Before giving this presentation, you have to introduce the letter to the child by using sandpaper, and you can give the invitation by saying, shall we work with one new letter? Yes. Then introduce with this sound A. What is the sound of E? A, right? A as in egg. A as in elephant. Do you hear me? The sound is A, right? But the alphabet is E. That's why we have to give special presentation. Once the child worked with sandpaper and listened to the sounds A as in elephant, A as in egg, then you can give the presentation of A-E. So before giving this presentation, you have to introduce an alphabet, letter E. Do you remember at the time of giving ovals, we gave only introduction to A, I, O, U. We did not give the presentation for E. Do you know why? Because the letters are different but the sound is same, isn't it? What alphabet is this? This is A, but the sound is A. This alphabet is E, but the sound is A. So first, before giving this presentation, you have to introduce the letter E, give him for the tracing, okay, sandpaper tracing, and introduce the sound. This is A as in egg. This is A as in elephant. Then later on you can introduce the letter by saying A is the sound of E, isn't it? Which is the sound of egg? A. So the sound of E is A. So you can introduce this alphabet and you can give number of examples, okay? A as in elephant. Whenever you hear elephant, you have to write this A, the first sound, okay? So once the child practices this and listen to the sounds and practice with the words, you can start with this presentation, A-E, okay? So you will be having a box, something like this, A-E. The purpose of giving this presentation is, whenever we hear, there are few words, whenever we hear those words, the E has a silent sound. The child is not able to hear the sound E. So you have to introduce with these kind of words as many as you can, okay? For example, take picture series. What is this? This is lake, okay? The child should be aware of these pictures. What is this? Cake, isn't it? What is this? Grape. What is this? Ape. Okay, which is the first sound we hear in lake? L. Which is the next sound? A, isn't it? Which is the next sound? K. And after K, the child doesn't hear any sound. So you have to introduce with this card. Okay, whenever you hear lake, okay, this is the A what you have to keep, where we say A, and this is A which is known as E. This is lake. So what is this? This is cake, isn't it? So which is the first sound you hear in cake? It is K. Okay, so I keep K here. So which is the next sound? A. So whenever you hear A in cake, you have to keep this A. Okay, which is the next sound? Cake. K. So where is K here? Okay, I keep cake. So whenever you hear cake, after consonant of K you have to keep A, okay, which is E. Can you see this card? Cake. K, A, isn't it? But we have given the sound as A. So you have to say whenever you hear A in cake, you have to keep A. And after one consonant follows, you have to keep A, which is E. Okay, and you have to continue with the activity of grape. Which is the first sound? G, R, A. So whenever you hear A in grape, you have to present with A. Okay, can you see this? Grape. So after A followed by one consonant, you have to keep E. Okay, so the activity continues with all A-E pictures, and later on when the child become perfect in A-E, you have other boxes with the same sounds, O-E. Okay, then we have I-E. In this activity the sounds are silent. For example, rose, you can only hear sound, you can't hear E after that, right? So whenever you hear rose, okay, followed by one consonant, you have to keep E. The same activity continues with I-E also. Okay, so the teacher can give this kind of presentations by taking one activity at a time. When the teacher completes A-E, give few days time, then start with O-E. Then again when he becomes perfect in O-E, give some time and start with I-E. So this is how the teacher can facilitate the child, help the child by giving presentations.